Okay, we're going to look at 5 muscles on the back of the figure that are associated with the scapula. And those 5 are the rhomboid, which attaches to this back edge of the scapula and then sort of moves uphill to the spine. And we've got the supraspinatus starting at the top here on the scapula proper. It's sitting on the top and it's running over and attaching to the top of the humerus. So the joint for the rhomboid is from scapula to rib cage. The joint from the supraspinatus is from scapula and then over to the humerus, as is the infraspinatus, which is this muscle in here, also attaching to the humerus on the back side of it. The teres minor, a smaller muscle. It's also on the scapula, running and attaching to the back side of the humerus. And then we have the teres major, which is an oval muscle at the bottom of the scapula. And that's running over to the humerus too, but it's going to the other side. It's not going to the back side. It's going to the inside of the arm. So those muscles together, those 3 muscles form the back of your armpit. So you remember the pectoralis was forming the front of the armpit. These are what are forming the mass of the back of your armpit. Okay, so we look at the skeleton and see where these are. So the rhomboid, again, is in this area. It's sort of running along this back edge of the scapula up to where the spine starts, spine of the scapula. And then it's running uphill to the spine. So the action of that muscle is to rotate the scapula this way. It also pulls it up. The infraspinatus is running, it's sort of taking up this surface area in here. Again, running over to the back of the humerus. And the action of that is to laterally rotate the arm. So it's moving the arm sort of this way, helping to move the arm that way. The teres minor, which is that other small muscle along here that's running to a similar place as the infraspinatus on the back side of the humerus. And that's doing a lot of what the infraspinatus does. It also weakly adducts the arm, sort of helps take it away. But so the teres major is that oval muscle, which is down in this area, running, and that's going, remember, to the other side of the arm, to the inside of the arm, and that's lateral. That's medially rotating the arm. So that's taking the arm and sort of moving it outward, whereas these 2 muscles were sort of moving it inward. All right. And then the supraspinatus, which is sitting up in this depression in here and running over to the top of the humerus, that's obviously going to help sort of move the arm up, right? So from here to here, it's sort of pushing the arm up that way. So if we look again at the drawing, in addition to those individual motions that these muscles on the scapula are taking part in, they're also doing a lot to help stabilize the humerus in the socket of the scapula. So they're important, just in terms of keeping everything kind of in place. They're important as well. If we look at the back, or the side view, so the infraspinatus and the teres major help to fill out the scapula and sort of create the volume of that form from the side. And if we look now and we sort of see, these are kind of important directions to look for in the figure from the side. Sort of, we're going kind of slightly backwards from the neck, and then the trapezius is helping to form the sort of outward motion to the scapula, and then the scapula is on an outward tilt, and then at the bottom of the teres major, things are kind of pulling back in towards the rib cage and the muscles associated with it. Okay, so those are the muscles of the scapula.